Alright everybody, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for what you've all been waiting for. Our heroes are about to make their way to the ring, and so we're going to need you to make them feel welcome with a standing ovation. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first, making his way to the ring from the Gearin Trade Lands, weighing in at 315 pounds, Bargy the Bear! And ladies and gentlemen, there he is, Bargy from those rough and tumble trade lands. He has an ancestral grudge, and he is on his way to the ring to make it all happen. Indeed, many an accolade can be said about Bargy the Bear, slayer of wormkin, killer of kobolds. And up onto the top rope, ladies and gentlemen, this capacity crowd, they love him. They love him. Speaking of which, allow me to go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and get this. All right. There we go. There we go. All right. And introducing his opponent, making his way to the ring from parts unknown, and weighing in at 265 pounds, King Steggy! And there he is, what a mountain of a man, wielding a sword. Oh, he's going into the crowd! What a crowd pleaser! He's running through, giving high fives out to the crowd. Oh, all those cheap pops. Now look, he's making these Patrons Day signing autographs. What a man of the people. What charisma. Whoa! He shouts and he's over the guardrail. He's over by the dwarvish announcing table. Again, taking an Ultimate Warrior-like strut to the ring. Dear goodness. Dear goodness. All right. And the ring announcer will make his way to ringside. That was surprisingly hype, guys. I love that. I hope you guys had fun with that too. Let me go ahead real quickly. Go ahead and get our official for the evening. Where are they? All right, this man right here will be the ref. All right, you two. I want it to be a good, clean fight now. You hear me? No hits below the belt. No biting. No hair pulling. And no weapons. You hear me now? You look wonderful with them equipped, however. Let's have both of you roll initiative. Ooh, 15 and 21. Wow. All right, Bargy. Followed by Steggs. Turn order has been applied. All right, you may begin at will. What are you doing, Bargy? Describe what you're doing.
Well, with a look of malice in my eyes.
Actually, wait, hold on. Before malice, channel predictions. Who will win? Bargy or Steggy? We'll put a minute on the board, and you can just, this is gonna take a while anyway, so. All right, proceed, Bargy.
Staring at this human before me, clearly laughing at me with their height.
Mm-hmm. He did make a show of getting down to the ring, whereas you took a more traditional, honorable, more official dwarven entrance, might I say.
This will not stand.
All right.
I think a neat happen is in order.
So what happens?
I would like to go into a dwarven primal rage.
Ooh, okay. Rage activated.
I charge my foe.
All right. You may do so. Now, charging in 5th edition gives you a bonus, gives you advantage. What does it do? I'm gonna need some help from chat too. I'm getting used to the 5th edition rules for this stuff. I'm a 3.5 DM mostly.
Some creatures do have a charge ability, but level 1 us does not.
Okay. I'm going to say, as the Dungeon Master, that I'm going to award +1 to your attack for your charge.
All right. And I am taking a swing at those insulting human kneecaps.
All right. The dwarf closes the gap with bare knuckles bared. Okay. Go ahead and roll attack. Ooh, that's definitely gonna hit. What's your strength?
My strength is 17, a +3 modifier.
Okay. So that's
My
gonna be...
punch be considered a strength weapon.
Yes. So it is 4 damage inflicted from that. All right. After that, all right. So you cross with astounding speed for a dwarf. After all, you are a sprinter, dangerous over short distances. And with your fists up, you juke left, you juke right, and then with a hard right hand, you slam it right into the side of the kneecap. We see a bit of an X-ray cutaway Mortal Kombat style, where we see the kneecap physically shift a couple of inches, and a light fracture appears along the side of the bone. All right, Steggy, it is now your turn.
I am gonna stare in this dwarf's face as I kneel down and grip my hurt knee and just yell right in his face in a nice rage as well.
Okay. Ooh.
Then go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And then I would like, with the DM's permission, to do an athletics check with a strength modifier to throw this little man over the top rope.
Oh man. Okay. Attempt it. Okay. So here's what I am going to do now. So, Bargy, you came in as like a raging bull, and you did land your attacks, but your inertia is still with you. So, you are going to now make a dex save. DC equal to 13 plus 1, so 14, because you're charging. I'm going to say that it's hard for you to stop yourself. Oh, no. All right. So, Barg, you charge in, and Steggy's waiting. He takes the damage, but he's also ducked low. And grabbing you by the wrist and shoulder, he flings you over the top rope. And you fall to the ground, tumbling head over heels down to the stone floor. We're going to say that that's actually 1 plus 1d6 damage for falling out of the ring. 1 plus 1d6 plus strength, rather.
So it would be 4 plus 1 of the d6.
Yep.
Oh, I'm rolling it? All right.
You're rolling it. Yes, that is correct. Total damage?
7 damage.
Oof, and that's Barbarian Rage, so half down to 3. So 3 damage. All right. You grab the dwarf by his beard and his shoulder, and you hurl him over the top rope, and he's suddenly flying, something very few dwarves can ever say they've accomplished. But that flight is very limited, and Bargy, as I said before, you crash down onto your back outside the ring. It is now your turn. What do you do?
You never toss a dwarf!
Also, wait, hold, real quick as well. That's technically was the end of the round. You're outside the ring. Referee moves over and goes, 1! Count of 1 to the outside. All right, your turn.
All right. I've been tossed out of the ring. This is now 2 times the humiliation of this human.
It's going in the book.
Going in the book. There's only one way this can be answered.
All right, and how is it?
With the DM's permission,
okay.
I would like my barbarian prowess to leap onto the top rope, sizing up my opponent, and then leap towards them, seeking to take them in a grapple to the mat.
Okay, what is barbarian prowess?
Just flavor. Just
well, no, but like, do you have any talents or anything like that, or you just want to try and do a jump check?
No. I'm just wanting to do a jump check.
Okay. I would, so just so we're saying, like, I think that's great. I think, though, like, running start matters, and so you might want to do something like, oh, I go over here to run up the steps first or something.
Absolutely, I will.
You know what I mean?
I take the steps to build up some momentum.
Otherwise, I'm gonna calculate the DC as a straight up dead jump from there.
No, actually, that's a great point. Giving a shout to the dwarven commentators and the people at home, running up the steps to get a little bit of momentum, since little vertical challenge.
Yep.
And try to cannonball grapple into my opponent.
Okay. So let's have you roll athletics with strength. Ooh, okay. All right. Now I need you to make 1 additional athletics check. Similar. Okay. And now I need you to make a melee attack. Okay. Bargy, you tumbled out of the ring and you storm back and forth for a moment, thinking about all the grudges that are going in the book over this human. And then you just feel yourself getting totally pumped up. Your beard bristles, your veins bulge in your arms as you work yourself up into a frustrated dwarven rage. And your pacing soon becomes deliberation. And as soon you're rounding the steps and charging up as fast as your dwarfish legs can carry you. And much to Steggy's surprise, perhaps chagrin, you literally leap into the air. You literally leap and stand atop the turnbuckle above your foe. And you lock eyes. He literally leaped. And you leap into the air, crouching, the sound of a majestic condor crying in the background. As you leap forward and fall like a very boulder in an avalanche, you may roll damage as you come down with a double axe handle, cracking the hands over the skull.
All right, and with damage of the unarmed.
Yep. Damage
Natural
of the unarmed.
1. My strength gives me +3, and with this being a strength weapon, would my rage also add its +2 bonus to this?
You're calculating, you're adding your rage bonuses plus your strength, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, then that would be 5 damage.
All right, so would that round down to 2 in this case?
Yes.
Okay. So 2 damage. And Steggy, make a dex save. Okay. Steggy, you see the dwarf come crashing down like a boulder, and he clocks you right in the skull, and you feel the lights dim for a moment. You do not fall, but you do stumble back about 5 feet, and you bump into the referee, who's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! Hey, keep it over here!" He pushes you forward like a foot and disengages over here. All right, Stegs, your turn. Referee also, of course, cancels the one count out.
Let's see here. I think I'm going to try to throw him over the top again, but this time with a running clothesline.
Ooh, okay. So we're going to say that you're charging, so we're going to give you +1 to your attack roll. And roll attack.
Adding 1 would make it 17.
17. Okay. What's your AC, Bargy?
15.
All right. Make a dex save. Total of 7?
Indeed.
All right. So here's what happened in the whole round action. Bargy leaps off the top rope, double axe handle. Duh! Steggy staggers back, hits the ropes, comes back running with the clothesline. And roll damage, Stegs. Or did you already?
I mean, it's 1d4 plus... or not 1d4, it's 4 damage.
Oh, 4 damage?
I don't
okay.
have I don't have a weapon or anything, so range doesn't really apply.
You clap your hand and throw the bicep out for the clothesline, and this dwarf just goes ass over tea kettle, flips over the top rope, his little big dwarven legs, reaching for the ceiling. He tries to grab the top rope and stay on the apron, but he plummets again to the outside with a sickening crunch. All right. We're going to have you roll an additional 1d6 damage for the fall damage.
Alright, I'm also going to follow him out of the ring this time, using my movement. So
Can you do that after an attack like that? Because you've already charged.
You can move at any time, you can split your movement at any time,
Okay.
all that fun stuff.
Gotcha.
3 again.
Okay. Also, for the purposes of just this whole thing, like, there's no attacks of opportunity for leaving a threatened square. You guys haven't been doing anything relevant to that anyways, but it's like, don't be afraid to try stuff, just because you're locked into close range. This isn't quite the same battle. Alright, so how much bonus damage did you do?
I rolled a 3. What am I at?
Roll a 3. Alright, so 1 more damage to you, Bargy. And then after that, it will be your turn, Bargy.
All right. They're pure blind rage in my eyes. This is beyond recording in the book at this point.
Yeah.
There's only one thing to do.
What's that?
Going the high route. It was risky, but dwarves belong on the ground.
Okay.
I would like to chain wrestle my opponent, getting behind them, getting them into a full headlock.
Okay. Does grappling still exist in 5th edition, or is it mostly 3rd edition stuff?
It still exists, but
it's different.
grapple only sets your movement to 0.
Okay. All right, so, opposed strength athletic checks. I believe, correct?
I think so, yeah.
16. Oof. All right. The both of you lock horns right now, but oh no. You're finding that you're unable to get a real handle on Steggy. And I believe that's your turn, isn't it? Unless you do movement after the fact.
Nope, I wanted to stay right near him. That'd be my turn.
Okay. All right. Well, Stegs, this dwarf is trying to lock horns with you, and it seems to be that with your height, combined with your also incredible strength, you're just too much for the moment for this dwarf to be able to grapple you, and you feel as if he's unable to get any control. You have the floor.
I kick my leg away from him as he tries to grab onto it, and I'm gonna run for the barricade, jump off, and drop kick.
All right. So, you rush over to the wall, and I'm gonna have to make you make a athletics check. But but you must do it with Dex this time, not Strength. Oof.
Oh yeah.
Woof. All right, now make a unarmed attack.
Ooh, 22.
Oh yeah, 15 AC.
Okay. All right. So, given the nature of the running and the springboarding, I'm going to allow you to roll an additional 1d4 damage and have that for an extra bonus.
One.
All right. So you leap through the air and put those big size 12 barbarian boots to work. And they plant firmly into the chest. They slam the dwarf against the apron, which of course, as you know, is the hardest part of the ring. And you inflict the extra damage as a result of the bone-crushing impact. This results in you dealing 1 + 3 + 2 halves. Is that what it is? So 3 damage total?
If it's unarmed plus the 1, it would be 5 total, rounded down to 2.
Oh, okay. So round down to 2. Okay, Bargy, your turn.
Standing up from this assault. Not feeling great. That survival instinct beginning to kick in. Would it be fair to say, DM, is this necessarily the cleanest of arenas? Might there be, say, for example, just enough dirt or debris around to get a handful of it?
Now, you never know unless you try, but there certainly could be. I mean, you see cracks in the tile and stuff like that. There could be stuff under the ring.
I would like to make as though I am rallying myself and getting prepared to charge for another knee attack. But as part of it, grasping down on the ground, grabbing whatever I can, and dirt into the eyes.
Okay, improvised weapon is also a feat in 5th, isn't it?
Improvised weapons are always D4 damage.
Oh,
I don't think there's a feat for it.
Okay. So, yeah, let's have you roll attack, Bargy. Ooh, okay. So, we're now roll 1d4 for damage. You're not going to add any strength or anything to this attack, though. All right, so 3 halved would drop down to 1. So you feel like on the ropes from this barbarian. He's been tossing you around, kicking you against the ring. You fall to a knee briefly, almost feigning injury. You reach down, grab a pile of dense, rocky sand, and you stand up and whip it into the face of the barbarian, and it catches him right in the eyes. The crowd groans as he staggers away for the moment. Steggs, let's have you roll a will saving throw. Or wisdom check, whatever that replacement is now. Okay. 13. Okay, you had tried to shield your eyes in time, but you feel the grains of sand biting into your eyeball. Indeed, they're in there and deep. You find yourself temporarily blinded. And you will have disadvantage for 2 turns on attack rolls. All right, get out of here. With that said, it's now your turn.
I was going to ask DM if I may, after that happening, with some movement, would I be able to just barely pull myself back into the ring just inside the ropes?
Have you used any movement yet?
I don't believe so, no.
Then I don't see any reason why you can't. You got like 30 feet you can move, which would be like six squares. Probably say it's like 2 to get up. 3. Yeah, you're fine. All right, and that's the end of that turn. Referee moves over, seeing that Steggy's outside the ring. 1! May count. All right, Steggs, your turn.
All right. I would like to move forward.
All right.
Grab the guy's beer in front of me and use my action to wash out the sand from my eyes and clear the blind
The alcohol?
condition.
Does that work?
I'm a barbarian. We can roll hard.
Okay. I mean, I might make you roll for that too, but
Bring it.
all right. Make it's a medicine check, heal check, modified by strength.
All right. So medicine is a +1.
Oh my God,
Natural
dear Lord Almighty! You walk up to the page and you're like, yeah, Steggy, yeah, Steggy, and he raises his beer to toast you, and you swipe it out of his hand, and you're just rubbing your eyes furiously, and you douse yourself in the face, the foam and froth pouring down your back and chest, your hair becoming sickly sweet with the scent of honeyed mead. All right, and it burns, but only briefly. And your rage just carries you through, and yes, you find yourself able to wash the sand from your eyes, and you are no longer suffering from disadvantage. You break the save.
I moved about 10 feet there and like to use the rest of my movement to go get some cheap pops through the crowd, and then come back over the barricade.
Okay. All right. Your turn, Bargy.
Okay. I have rallied a little bit. Are held actions a thing in this?
Yes.
Yes.
I would like position myself, looking at my opponent, gauging the distance. It's a bit far. Though I am mighty, I am but a dwarf. I would like to ready myself.
Okay.
And the moment my opponent begins to move closer towards me, towards the ring, I would like to make a suicide dive towards them.
Okay. So what I will say in the future is, like, if we want to have like a hidden action like that, because you can only hold it for 1 turn, you can whisper me on Twitch something like that too. Just tell me to do that. So we'll say so yeah. You prepare yourself, and the referee walks over. Steggy, who's been in and out of the ring. 2! Count of 2 for a ring out. And now it's your turn, Steggs.
All right. You know what? We're gonna go ahead and go. We saw the dwarf climb up on the top rope. We're gonna attempt to do the same thing.
Okay.
So I believe I should have the movement. Just whatever check you want me to make to get up there.
Let me see. Let's say, yeah, give me an athletic strength check to climb. See, I actually feel the 3rd edition would be better for this, because like skills like climb and whatnot would be able to shine rather than be homogenized. I'll have to think about that. All right. Yep, you definitely have enough. You stride over to the apron and pull yourself up with your hands, and then climb to the top rope. What do you do?
At this point, could my held action go off? A prime target on those top
Buster,
ropes
thank you.
to just spear them down
Indeed.
to the
So,
outside.
so it does. At this point, your ready to action would trigger. Now, cinematically, do you want to do it before they get to the top, or do you want to do it when they're on the top? You
I
said
want to do it
before.
on the top. I want us to fly from this ring.
Okay. All right. I will say that your ready to action triggers, and you will charge if you want to. Well, you did say
Yes,
charge. You
absolutely.
must charge, actually, because you said you would do that. So you do
I'm in a
charge.
blind raid.
All right. Roll. So I guess this would technically be a bull's rush in this case. So let's have you roll bull rush.
Would that just be a straight
Movement
strength check?
can't be held like an action, but rule of cool. So they have to root on the spot with their declared action?
Yes.
Okay. We will probably disregard that rule. Like, unless it's too broken, I feel that there's too many fun things that you could do with that. So that's good information. I will factor that when I maybe make some official rules for this. All right.
Official 5th edition, like an archer once I can see my opponent type of thing. That's a held action. Movement cannot be done. Here, yeah, make your own rules.
Yeah.
Alright.
So okay. So just being aware, like we might. Would it be more fun for you guys if we relax on rules like that, or would that be not fun?
In
Besides
this
it.
format?
It's supposed to. Like, in case you haven't noticed, I'm giving you guys bonuses and negatives depending on what you guys are doing. So it's not the real rules. None of this stuff would be actually happening in a real fight.
I mean, personally, I feel in this format with the wrestling, that does make a certain amount of sense to not necessarily go by rules as written.
Okay. We'll figure it out anyways later. So we're gonna have you do a bull's rush.
All right. What would you like me to roll, Dio?
Well, that still exists, right? It's not just a trip now. It'll just be an attack. It'll be an attack roll.
There is a shove. It's opposing a strength.
Okay. So that's what we're gonna do then. We'll do an opposed strength check. Okay. All right. You charge in and leap into the air, Bargy, and put your shoulders into the guts of the barbarian. But he braces himself, coiling his legs about the ropes, and he braces for impact, wrapping his arms around your barreled chest, straddling and preventing you from sending him off the top rope. You have failed to perform this action. Stegs, you may continue with yours. Okay, but to say
Bargy, how
sprawling
you
instead of
looking?
straddling. Sprawling. That's the wrestling term I meant to say. Very different from straddling. Quiet, chat.
Looking hurt. Looking hurt. Has that look of primal survival in their eyes.
All right. From the top rope, I am going to. Oh, I forget her name, but Ember Moon's finisher, but with a moonsault added in
Okay.
from the top rope.
Gotcha.
Try to finish off this
So you're
dwarf.
going to do a front flip Stone Cold Stunner.
Backflip.
Backflip.
Stunner.
Stone Cold. All right, so we're gonna do this. Okay, we'll figure this out. Roll. Okay, roll a unarmed attack.
That's just 4 for me.
You rolled a 4.
It's strength plus 1, so an unarmed actual attack.
Attack,
sorry,
yes.
Damage. Two.
22. All right, now make a dexterity save as well. Or actually, roll acrobatics as well. Acrobatics instead, sorry.
$14.
All right. Now make a... That's one final thing. I've been making this too complex. Now make a dex save, and I'll tell you what happens. Yeah, the Eclipse. Jackal Johnson.
Thank you.
All right. So, Bargy, who braced himself against the charge, kicks off, giving himself some distance. Oh, the dwarf staggers back, spitting out some saliva that goops in his beard. Bargy rights himself, and then leaps through the air with such grace, performing a moonsault before landing down and perfectly landing a stunner or the Eclipse. You may roll damage, but your landing was not great. You must roll 1d4 damage against yourself as well, because you had a hard landing on your tailbone.
Alright, so here's
And
the
we'll
1d4.
also, okay, so, and also because you're in the air, you also deal an additional 1d4 damage unarmed to them for that as well. So 2 damage to you.
Another 4.
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry, we're not having this. So it's, it will be halved because of your damage reduction. That does falling damage for you as well, right, as a barbarian?
Yeah, it's considered 4.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you both each take 2 damage from the, or rather, I'm sorry, Steggy, you take 2 damage from landing on your ass, and now you deal your total damage, which is how much? 1 plus, did you say 2?
1 plus strength is 4.
1 plus strength is 4, plus 2, 6, divided by 2, 3. 3 damage to you. Bargy.
The dwarf is quite dazed. He may only barely pick up the count.
Okay. All right. What do you do?
Looking about, stars in the eyes. The end is coming near here.
We'll say that it's assumed also that the attacks are knocking you guys prone each time you're doing this, but you guys aren't obviously getting frickin' coup de grace stuff, because that just wouldn't be showmanship. So yeah, so you're getting back to your feet after suffering a stunner.
Back onto my feet after the stunner.
Yep.
I need to put some distance. I need to gain some time.
Okay.
I'm gonna for an Irish whip.
Are you throwing him, or are you just running?
I'm
Because an Irish whip is when you throw him.
right. No. I want to try and, since he looks like he might be close enough to the ropes.
Okay.
I'm trying to eject him from the arena. Buy me some space.
Okay, so you're gonna charge and do the same clothesline or something similar. All right. You back up and get ready to circle back and charge in. You may make an attack roll, and let's say +1 to it. What's your AC, Stegs?
14.
14. All right. You see the dwarf charging in at you. He does miss, but cinematically we're going to say that you can tell what's going to happen. And actually, no, we'll do it this way. He charges in, goes for the clothesline, you duck under, and now you have swapped positions with him against the ropes. And it took quite a bit for you to duck under a dwarven clothesline, let me tell you.
Well, you kind of hop over a dwarven clothesline.
Either or, yeah. Maybe you hopped over it. Maybe either or. But regardless of that, it is now your turn, Stegs.
All right. I want to gain some momentum, go off the ropes, and do a big boot that would make Tess proud.
Ooh, okay. We're going to consider this a charge as well. Let's say, since you're doing an Irish whip, oopsies. Roll attack and do +1 like it's a charge.
Total 18.
Okay, and yeah, so you're going to charge forward and you are going to deal damage. And we will say that, well, you already have the +1 to hit, so we'll say that was the bonus. So 4 damage, I think you said?
4 damage.
That's counting your barbarian rage and all that, right?
I don't have a weapon in my hand, so rage does not matter because it's 4 strength weapons, and I don't think unarmed strike gets counted as a weapon.
Hasn't Sparky been calculating strength for that?
I have, so I would say go for it. I have been.
Oh, all right.
Okay, so
3 damage.
So we'll save that for right now. All right, so 3 damage, so 1 damage. Anyways.
Oh, 6 half to 3. Sorry.
Oh, half to 3, so 3 damage. All right. You are... What's your hit point total right now?
I am at -1.
Okay, so in this, you're not actually knocked out, but you do stay prone at the end of your turn. So the barbarian rushes in, and a huge boot that would make Andrew Tess Martin proud gets kicked underneath your dwarven chin, and you feel your dwarven teeth clack like 2 steins clashing together in celebration. But instead of glass breaking, it is teeth, and one of your ancient teeth goes flying through the air and lands in the dwarf's mug in the front row with a sickening plop. He doesn't seem to notice and drinks anyways. All right, so, Steggy, you moved 5, 10, 15. You still have some additional movement. I would say that with your extra action, you may attempt a pinfall.
Well, sure.
And the way this is going to work moving forward, you will basically be able to make a pinfall anytime you knock somebody down. It will be harder to kick out the more damage you take. So, Stegs, we're going to say that you make a pinfall, and we're going to need Bargy. Okay, so you're going to make a... Trying to decide if it should be an opposed check. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Steggy and Bargy do an opposed athletics check. Okay. We will... Okay. So yes, you manage to, after you drop the dwarf to his back, you drop on top of him and hook the leg and scoop it. All right. Bargy, I need you to make a DC... One second. So this is a part that I actually hadn't entirely thought through. Make a DC... DC 17 Constitution save. Whoa! All right, you feel the leg being hooked, and you instinctively kick out before the even count of 1. All right, your turn is over, Stegs. Over to Bargy now.
can I use that momentum as almost like the wily, thinking back to my time in nature and traversing the wilderness, the wily possum, can I use that to roll my opponent onto their back and attempt to pin them?
Attempt to pin them as well? Okay, here's what I'm going to say. You're at negative HP currently. You're going to have disadvantage on basically all checks moving forward. But yes, you can attempt to, I'm going to say roll, do an opposed grapple check. So do both of you guys do an opposed strength. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, but it's going to happen.
Okay, there is my first roll. Here come, or how did that go?
Yep. Okay, so 7. And Steg's roll to oppose.
Oh, mine was the 10. He's going to be disadvantaged.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. All right, so Steggy, you deny the grapple. You grab him by the hair. Oh, never mind. Yeah, you grab him by the hair. And, pull him back up to his feet. Buggy, you fail to pull the small package cradle. And we'll say you've got a little bit of movement left, but what else did you try to do, if anything?
I curse an ancient dwarven,
Okay.
talking about how his mother consorted with elves.
Oof. All right. Well, Stegs, you heard that. It's your turn now.
I don't take kindly to that, and I would like to cheat. So I would like to Irish whip him into the referee, so there are no rules.
Oh, no. Uh-oh. Roll grapple. And resist, and roll to resist. So 2 athletic checks.
Still with disadvantage.
Still with disadvantage.
Okay, here comes my first.
Okay.
Oh,
So at that point, we don't even need to roll the second one, because we know it's not going to beat it. All right, so I am going to roll a... Let's see if the referee's paying attention. And I'd roll a dex save. All right. The referee fails to get out of the way in time, and the dwarf is suddenly thrown into him. Oh no! The crowd gasps as the referee is crushed between the turnbuckle and the dwarf and pitifully moans, "Ah," and then falls to his knees and is unconscious, seemingly on the ground. All right, we'll say that is that. And moving over to Bargy's turn. The crowd boos. Some of them cheers, however, as the referee is down.
all right. Am I still conscious?
You're still conscious. You're goofy, but you're conscious.
All right. I need to get some space from this. I need to rally.
All right.
Rolling out of the ropes, moving my movement, if I can make it back to the barrier behind me.
Yeah, you can do it. Wait, so the barrier. So you're going to count that out. Also be... No, I'd probably say no falling damage if you're voluntarily jumping out of the ring.
Oh, may I make a slight modification to that, DM?
What?
I would like to roll out of the ring behind where the referee is currently positioned.
Yep.
I would like to roll under the ring.
Okay. You do so. And you vanish from sight. You can whisper to me what you want to do next turn, Bargy, if you like.
Absolutely.
What do you do, Staggy, in the meantime?
I would like to go to the top rope and do a performance check to hype up the crowd.
All right. Do you see? You climb to the top rope and throw your hands up in the air and try to work this capacity crowd. Roll perform. Or would it just be charisma in this case? Well, you rolled nat 20 anyways. And the crowd goes absolutely crazy for you, King Steggy. Although, let's say you go over to where you'll face the actual crowd itself. There you go. There's no one in that corner. All right. This seems to have invigorated you. I will grant you 1d4 temporary hit points. You heal for 4 hit points, and we'll say that will last for the rest of the encounter. Headphones died. What happens? You gain 1d4. You gain 4 temporary hit points from your performance. Does that mean he heals a point or two? Basically, but not really. It depends on what your opponent has. It's technically the same thing, but... Oops, that's not supposed to happen. I made this map today, friendly foe. I did. Alright, so it is now Bargy's turn.
I have sent a message. Hopefully it arrived via Twitch.
Okay. Roll investigation, Bargy. All right, you manage to find what you're looking for. What do you do?
I able to hear from the roar and the movement of my heavier opponent? Mm-hmm. Am I able to gauge roughly where they might be on the arena currently?
You did hear above you a stomping towards the other side of the ring, and you also know that the referee is unconscious, so you can make that deduction.
I would like to come back out of the ring close to where I rolled underneath it. Doing my best to try and make sure I am not noticed.
Okay.
With the object I sought.
Roll. What's stealth equivalent checks in this?
Stealth.
There is a stealth.
There is a stealth. Okay, so roll stealth and challenge that. Steggy with that. There's no sense motive anymore, so
there's passive perception.
Passive perception? Okay. I'm gonna say you've got disadvantage though, Stegs, because you are actively engaging the audience. So I'm gonna say that you've literally turned your back on your opponent to make this happen.
I've got 1 wisdom, so disadvantage is 15.
Wow. Okay.
Perception.
Let me see. How much did you roll? 15?
15.
All right. You do not detect Bargy. Bargy, what do you do?
So I am now crouching outside the ring.
Yep.
I have decided to take a chair with me.
Yep. So for everybody who else is watching, suddenly Bargy appears under the apron, looking up at Steggy, who is still working this crowd. And he has in his hands a human-sized steel folding chair.
And I would like to edge just a little bit.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Right.
It's actually not a steel folding chair, but let me see. We'll say you. Come on. Yeah, you got a bar stool. There we go.
And I am holding my action the moment I can see my opponent within range. I am smashing this bar across them.
Unless he gets out of the ring and comes to you, there is absolutely no reason why he would get out of the ring right now, I don't think. Like, as we were saying, but like if you were standing right next to him, I would say so, but you are 15 feet away currently.
I would like to attempt to sneak around staying as close to the edge as I can.
You've already passed your stealth check. You can just do your movement.
Moving around the edge of the ring, getting closer.
Okay, so like. Yeah, you're like 15 feet. You're good. For that.
Okay. Do I have enough movement where I can close and hit my opponent?
Yes, you can. You do have enough space that you can do that.
I am attacking with.
I'm not
chair.
trying to backseat game you. It's just like you're spending like 2 or 3 turns doing something that I feel you could have done in the one turn you're trying to.
I am rage attacking with this chair if I'm able to.
Okay. Roll attack. You still have disadvantage. Keep that in mind. But as I said before, we're gonna say that it's flat-footed AC for the barbarian, considering he's distracted and he's standing on the top rope. So just plus dex for AC.
Here is second.
Okay. And what's your 8? Well, I think that's going to hit your AC anyways, Stegs.
Yeah, it's only 14.
All right. All right. So you're up there with the stool. Bargy, you may... So you did attack, roll damage, but you're going to roll a d6 with it. So d6 plus 1. Don't forget to add all of your strength and all that.
Okay. Straight d6 or d6 plus 1?
D6. And then...
Okay.
But like if you have any bonuses, you add to it. So what's your total?
That would be a total of 6.
All right. A sickening crunch is heard as the stool comes crashing down between the shoulders of the barbarian, and the crowd lets out an ooh from the impact as it's heard. 3 damage in total, I believe that was. Or is that halved? You're talking about, or is it 3 before halving?
It was 6 before halving.
Okay, so 3 damage to you, Steggy. And Stegs, make a reflex check, reflex save, dex check. Okay. You are knocked from your perch, but you do not fall. You do not take any damage, and you regain your footing. Referee is going to attempt to stand up. Referee has come to and is currently on his knees. He's a little sluggish, but the lights are on. Somebody is home, but they've lost their keys. So that's what's going on. And it is now Steg's turn.
All right, so is he standing on the hardest part of the ring right now?
He currently is standing on the hardest part of the ring.
I would like to saddle up next to him on the hardest part of the ring and DDT him to the floor.
Oh, no. Okay. All right. Opposed athletics checks. How's your hit points, by the way, also, Stegs?
I am at 2.
2. Okay. All right, Stegs, you have successfully grabbed him. All right. So, Bargy, make a Dex save. Okay. So, Stegs, you hop over the top rope. The dwarf is dazed and he drops his bar stool on the side of the apron. You charge forward, grab him by the beard, and kick him in the gut. He lets out a as the wind rushes out of his lungs, and you yank on his beard until his head is tucked under your arm and you wrench up in a headlock. You spin your finger around like a tornado in the air, calling it what it is, and then throw yourself down to your back, dragging the dwarf with you. Head first like a torpedo into the ground with a sickening crunch with a successful DDT. Unarmed damage, plus 1d6, plus 1 fall damage.
Alright, so that totals to 8.
All right, 4 damage. All right.
I am at -5.
Yep, -8. So, Bargy, you hit the ground with a sickening thud. What did you -8? You said.
-6.
-6. All right, you're staring up at the ceiling. The lights are on. You hear the chants around you. You feel blood beginning to pool into your eyes. Something has busted your brow. You get a terrible headache. But as far as you know, you don't have a hangover. What is this? I would say that. Yeah, we'll say it's your turn. We'll say it's your turn at this point. I gotta come up with mechanics for this amount of damage and being prone. So what do you do?
My ace in the hole did not work. Everything else did not work. There's only one thing left. I have to go for that grapple again.
Okay. You're outside the ring now, remember. You're going for a pinfall. Uh-oh.
I would like to try, based on our positions,
Yep.
I would like to try and German suplex my opponent into the stairs.
Okay. Opposed grapple. Athletics. Okay. Bard, you gotta do disadvantage, as I said?
Oh, yep.
Oh, all right. Bargy. You managed to grapple Steggy about the waist and turn him around, but you try and heave with all of your might to German suplex him into the stairs. King Steggy, though, has that ring awareness. He widens his stance, clasps his hand over yours, and prevents you from pulling your weight through. Steggy, it is now your turn. But before that happens, the referee finally gets to his feet. Sees you all outside the ring. 1! He begins to count. Now your turn, Stegs.
I would like to reach way down because he's so short lift him up and flapjack him onto the hardest part of the ring.
You're gonna flapjack him on it?
Oh, yes.
All right.
So his chin connects.
Opposed grapples. Okay. That will hit. So we'll say that you deal +1 damage, lifting the dwarf up into the air and then dropping him draw first onto the apron, and he staggers about after that. And again, please don't assume that I know what your stats are, Stegs. I know you said it like a billion times, but just state whatever the total damage is each time, please.
Oh, sure. My athletics check was 24. If he's going to oppose, he has to roll his athletics. That
He does. That I'm not calling that a straight up grapple in this case. So it's just an attack roll that I'm flavoring.
Oh, okay.
So just deal your damage.
4 damage, so half to 2.
I am at -8 now.
Okay, noted. And Bargy, it is now your turn.
And just for note, if it should be of importance, my maximum HP currently is 15.
Yep.
I'm at -8 out of 15.
Yep. Your turn.
There's no point in running anymore. This can only go one way. I'm attempting to go for that hold once more.
Okay.
I'm attempting to
Try
choke
again.
out my opponent. There's first roll. Ugh. Well,
Roll your opposition already to Steggy while you're at it.
there it is with disadvantage.
Okay, and again the same thing. You go for the suplex. You manage to turn him around, but again you just cannot seal the deal. You just can't. You feel that the strength is draining from your limbs. How long is the rage lasts minutes, right? Would it have worn off by now? Or is it like 10 minutes?
1 minute. 1 minute.
So 10 rounds. I think we've been beyond 10 rounds at this point. I'll say that rage is going to drop next turn for both of you. Okay?
But I guess just for in the state of fairness, I technically activated my rage 1 round before Sticky did.
Sure, but I think we're on round like 20 at this point. I don't know. So
There's actually no counter for it?
yeah, there's no counter for it, is there? Devs.
Yeah.
My fault as the DM though. So yeah, we'll say that it's gonna wear off for Bargy next turn and Steggy the next one after that. And Steggy, it's your turn.
Actually, rage ends early if you're knocked unconscious or if your turn ends and you haven't attacked. So if he spent a round getting his weapon, it technically should have worn off then.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just
Fair enough.
future rage mechanics.
Okay. Thank you. Good to know.
Also, mine should have as well when I did the top rope.
Yes. Good to know.
performance check.
Well, why don't we both just say they're both gone then? All right.
If I'm up, I would like to rage as my bonus action. Use my second one for the day. Keep that up.
Oh, I didn't know you could do rage again so soon.
Level 1, you get 2 per long rest.
Any penalties for having a rage wear off?
There was an exhausted, but I'm not seeing it.
And
think
can you
in
be
fifth they got
exhausted
rid
while
of it.
raging?
No.
Yeah, I think in 5th they got rid of that.
Okay. All right, carry on.
All right, I would like to roll the dwarf back into the ring.
Okay. Roll athletics. I'm going to find ways of making these athletic checks have better bonuses or penalties. So it's not quite... Well, there's disadvantage, but it'll be like a lot of 50-50 stuff, I imagine.
24.
All right. And Bargy, roll to oppose. You will need a 20.
Oh, well, right there. I mean, I can roll the other one for disadvantage if you wish me to.
Yeah, it's your roll, or you can just decline. Whatever you want. Okay.
Yeah, no.
You are grabbed by Steggy and you are rolled into the ring and currently prone. What do you do, Stegs?
Can I use my movement to get in there and pin him?
You may attempt to do so. Okay. You're going to move over, and we're going to have you do one opposed. I'm trying not to have you do too many of these, but I feel it's relevant. All right, so yes, one more opposed athletics check for both of you.
Ooh, that one.
So Laird's first, rolling with disadvantage.
Yep.
Oh.
Double nat one. Ha ha!
Double nat 1. Okay. But Stegs is higher, and it's a skill check, and that does not count for critical misses as far as I know when it comes to skills. It could, but I'm going to say no to that. All right, Stegs, you hook the leg on the dwarf after rolling him into the ring. Referee drops down to count. Bargy, make a DC 18. You're at negative 8 hit points, you said?
Yes, that is correct.
DC 18 saving throw.
Is this a strength saving throw? Or...
Con, sorry.
Con.
It's not a very good pin.
Still with disadvantage?
Not for this, no. Total of 14?
Indeed.
All right. 1! The referee slaps the mat. Make a second save. Same DC. Whoa! And kicks out before 2. All right. Yep, he kicks out. And now it's your turn, Bargy.
Okay. I would like to... My opponent has me on the ground. Even if not mechanically, is a dwarf's favorite terrain. I would like to attempt to roll around and engage my opponent in a face lock.
Okay. We're just going to have you roll attack. With disadvantage, of course. All right.
There's the first one.
Okay. So, Bargy, you managed to scramble out of the pin and shove your wrist right against the bridge of the nose and clasp around him with your other hand and wrench up. Feeling the neck and spine elongate as you lock him into a bit of a crippler crossface. Your stout legs wrapping around the barbarian's arm as you try and torque extra pressure. You may roll unarmed damage. or deal unarmed damage.
Okay. Unarmed damage is... We ruled that I am not currently raging.
Not currently raging.
4.
All right, so 2 damage to you, Stegs, which brings you to 0, correct?
Correct.
You are now fighting with negatives to your offensive abilities. And it is now your turn.
All right, I've got to finish this dwarf. Seeing how the DDT to the floor didn't work, I'm going to try another DDT to this
Oh, no, it
wonderfully
worked.
constructed pine.
It worked. He's just a dwarf.
Yeah, it didn't put him down, though, so I'm going to drop him on this well-crafted wooden stage.
All right. Just going to give him a slam.
Yeah,
And you're raging currently.
correct.
Okay. You may roll attack. That's a hit. Damage.
Absolutely.
I got a disadvantage.
Oh, that's right, disadvantage.
All right.
Yep, AC is 15 on me.
All right, so that'd be 6 unarmed, half to 3. Oh, wait, you're not raging, so 6.
Ooh. All
Give it
right.
13 out of 15.
And suddenly, Steggy, with a newfound barbarian rage, grabs you by the skull on your belt, and also by the chin, and he lifts you high above his head with a roar of defiance. This is the tallest you have ever been in your life, dwarf. And then the ground comes at you really quickly as Steggy drops to his ass and delivers a devastating Michinoku driver, dropping you down onto your neck and shoulders with a horrifying crash. All right. What, Steggy, do you go for the pin?
Sure.
Okay. You don't get to hook the leg because this wasn't a grappling attack. But you slide on over. What's your current hit points?
Minor 0.
Yes, but what is it? Like negative what?
Just straight 0. I haven't gone into negatives yet.
No, Bargy.
Oh.
I am negative 13.
Okay. DC 23 Constitution check.
With disadvantage?
No disadvantage. And that 20 will kick out at 1 anyways. Dear Lord Almighty, and the crowd cannot believe the resilience of this dwarf. He kicks out not even at 1. And Steggy, looking into his hands like, what do I have to do? Referee stands up looking astonished as well. All right, dwarf, it's your turn.
It's all or nothing right now. There's only one thing left to do. Thinking of
Pain Chaos Space
thinking
Marine,
of
thank
the totem of my people, the might of the bear.
Might
I
of the
look
bear.
to you. I look to use the shortness of my stature as an advantage, and crawl up the side of my opponent, and seek to get them in a bear hug chokeout.
Okay. We're gonna, again, like, I know that it sounds like an actual grapple, but it sounds like you're just trying to deal damage, so we're going to just,
Yes.
we're just gonna have it be a flavored unarmed attack. Just like
Perfect.
the last one.
There's the first, and here's the disadvantage.
Now here's a question, though. Are you trying to make him submit, or just deal damage?
The sheer number of
Because I will say it needs to be a grapple check if you're trying to make him tap out.
I am absolutely trying to make them submit. The
Okay.
honor,
So
nothing left.
We're gonna
at this
back
point.
up then. Oh wait, did you roll wait? Oh, you rolled 19 and a 20 anyways, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't need to step back then. That would be you rolled just fine. Okay, so you crawl over to your opponent, and it looks like Steggy might just take pity on you. Maybe not. But then you suddenly leap up to your feet, wrap your stout arms around his waist, and begin to squeeze. And you try to crush the life out of Steggy. Steggy, we're gonna have you oppose that grapple check. So it's looking like it's DC 19 for you. Or 24, rather. Okay, you are grappled because of that. So you feel the arms lock around you. And we're gonna have you make a Constitution save. DC, you're perfectly at 0 HP.
Correct.
DC 10. All right. Similar to the 80s and older wrestling generations, the bear hug is locked in, and you feel the life fading from you. Your arms fall to your side, and the referee rushes over and checks on you to see if you're still conscious. The light is dimming from your eyes. He grabs you by the wrist as your arm drops and raises it into the air, and he goes to let it drop. And you keep it up in the air. You're still kicking. All right. It is now your turn, as a matter of fact.
All right. With this little dwarf, strapped to my chest like a baby, I'm just gonna jump and land right on top of him and continue in for a pin.
Oh, no. All right. So are you going to try and do, a pin combination? Or you just want to deal damage and knock him down?
Why not both?
No, because so here's the difference. So if you go for a pin combination, it's going to be an unarmed attack, but I'm going to make you do an opposed grapple. If you win, you'll deal damage as normal, but you'll have a bonus to the pinfall saving throw. Or you could knock him down and just pin and not have the bonus.
No, I want to do damage. The full weight of my human self against his tiny little dwarf self.
All right. Roll attack.
Disadvantage, 2-6, nat 1.
Oof. Nat 1 too, huh?
Nat 1.
Okay. Okay, so in this particular instance, I'm trying to think of what is so in 5th edition, is there a particular thing that happens on a nat 1? It's just it auto fails, right?
Auto fails.
Because I have house rules for this sort of thing, but not quite for this particular thing that we're doing.
Yeah, from my experience, completely up to DM discretion.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take a D100. Okay. Yeah, roll. All right. Stegs, you attempt to lift him up in the air. You lift him up over your shoulder for a jackknife powerbomb, but similar to the lucha libre style the dwarves are renowned for, he manages to roll forward and behind you, immediately ending your turn and giving advantage on the next attack that Bargy does. And it is now your turn, Bargy.
This is do or die. Choking out. Either he drops or I do.
Oh, man. Okay. Opposed grapple, and this time you have advantage and Steggy has disadvantage.
And with my natural disadvantage, would this just become a straight roll?
Your natural disadvantage.
Because of my hit points.
No, I'm granting you advantage for this one because he botched.
Okay.
13 with disadvantage. Nat 20.
Oof. Okay. All right. So we haven't had a critical hit in this one yet. I'm gonna say it's double damage. Roll. So what would that be for you, Bargy?
Double of my unarmed strike, not raging, would be double of it would be 8.
Okay. So
And stake is raging, right?
Not anymore. I missed my attack.
Oh, missing an attack also means you don't get to, even though you tried.
Well, I figured you ended the turn on me. That counts as not doing an attack.
No, I would say you were absolutely in the process of doing an attack. Your character did not idly stop. So no, you are still raging, my friend.
All right.
So Bargy, you leap up, so you tumble onto your feet, and then notice that the way is open. You leap up and wrap your bicep around the throat and slam down a sleeper lock. You are dangling from him as Steggy looms up to his full height, his face beginning to flush red as the pressure is applied. So after taking 4 damage, you are -4, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You feel yourself beginning to fade, Steggy, as you are teetering back and forth with this dwarf on your back. Make a Constitution saving throw, DC 14. No disadvantage.
For what it's worth, Tangent, I'm not expecting like any mechanical such, but this is his signature. The bear hold strangulation.
I actually have a system for that coming up. But it's not in right now.
Doesn't matter. I got a nat 20.
Ooh. Okay. So again, the referee goes to check on you as you begin to fade in the arms. You fall to your knees. And the dwarf is holding you up $1 Million Dream style. Check on him, ref! Check on him! Wrenching up your matted hair in your face, Steggy. It looks real bad. And the referee slides over, grabs you by the wrist, picks up your hand, and then, just like the power of Hulkamania, you are standing, and with your nat 20, you have Bargy still in the chokehold, held aloft, and it is now your turn.
All right. If I am...
We're going to say that because of the nat 20 save, and Bargy still holding on, we're going to say that this is still a locked grapple currently. So do as you may.
Let's see here.
As in you were both grappling
right.
each other.
I would like... Oh, no. Grapple, we have 0 movement. So... I'd like to just hug him right back.
Ooh! So you twist in his grip and hug him right back. It's brotherly love as they crush the life out of one another. All right, so you trying to deal damage or make him submit? If it's submit, you got to roll athletics.
Actually, let me do like the whole box the ears type of thing, damage attack. I'm gonna go that route.
So you're gonna do the bell clap.
Yes.
All right. You're attempting to break it. Make an unarmed strike. Remember, negatives.
Another nat 1.
Oh no! All right, that's gonna be another turn shift, and we're gonna give Bargy advantage again on this particular attack. Bargy, you see that Steggy is rearing back to clap your ears, and you just tilt your head forward and you take it. You feel the inside of the palms clap your head. Your ears are ringing, but you hold on like a pit bull with a vice grip. What do?
I need not hearing to deal with this human. The bare necessities demand that this human rest at ease
All right.
And I hold my choke, knowing with certainty that his puny human form cannot withstand the tenacity of a dwarf.
Okay. So here we go again. It's gonna be 4 total damage, right?
Yes.
All right. Another 4, and oh wait a minute though. You didn't actually do your attack. So you need to do.
I didn't do my attack.
You didn't do it.
No.
Okay. So you do have advantage. Make a grapple check.
Oh, I'm glad I have advantage.
You have advantage though.
Oh.
Okay.
I forgot something.
What?
Since it wasn't showing, I had those temporary hit points given to me.
Yep.
So I'm technically at -2.
Okay, good to
she
know.
dropped me
Thank
to
you.
4 and then raging.
So now you're at -4 now.
Depended, yeah, because of his damage.
Well, no, he didn't crit this time. He just has advantage. So, what is your damage right now, Bargy?
At the moment, it is 4.
Okay,
I'm not weak.
So 2 damage. So now you're at 14, -14, or -4 rather. Stegs.
And I completely forgot about additional HP, so my HP is unchanged. It's still at -13.
Okay. So, submission hold is applied. However, Stegs, make a Constitution saving throw, DC 14.
Oh, I've been using the wrong saving. Ignore this dice roll. Saving throw, I actually have +4.
Okay.
Failed.
All right. You keep your vice-like grip on, and both you go down to the mat. You're staring into each other's eyes. You see the hatred fuming. You're basically spitting and breathing on each other's faces as you exert like 2 grunting, manly men performing before a large crowd. As you lay and you tumble, you feel the bones creaking in your hands as you try and snuff the life out of one another. The referee goes in. Steggy, your eyes begin to roll into the back of your head. They raise up your arm and drop it. 1! Make another saving throw. Same DC.
$19.
And on the second one, you fight through it, and Steggy Mania is running wild as you are able to survive the hold. All right, your turn.
I've got to get this dwarf off me. I'm going to go ring his bell again.
All right, what do you do?
Box the ears, the bell clap, the whole shebang.
Remember, you got disadvantage now too.
13.
Okay. What's your AC right now, Bargy?
15.
All right. Again, you just feel the desperation. You continue to smash the dwarf upside the head with a brutish, bearish, bear swipe of a paw. And still, the dwarf just grits his teeth, closes his eyes, and takes the battering. Bargy, it is your turn.
I am understanding we are still basically holding this right in the center of the ring.
You're not actually grappled anymore right now, no. But yes, visually, yes. But this round, there's no main... Well, actually, neither of you guys have tried to disengage from each other, so I guess you are grappled still.
Yeah, you can still make attacks while grappling.
Yeah, you can make attacks, but you're going to have to break from each other to do something else. But grappling visually can be a lot of things in this.
respect to this human, perhaps the first human I have ever granted respect to for having the tenacity of a dwarf. But this has to end.
Okay.
I'm going for the traditional, the known Bret Hart maneuver.
The sharpshooter?
I'm going for the sharpshooter.
All right. Disadvantage grapple check. -4, Steggy. Doof.
Yeah, I mean, disadvantage.
Yep.
Well, this is contested, not an attack.
What was that?
Is this contested and not an attack?
Bargy, you weren't trying to break the grapple, were you?
No. I am holding on to this person, ride or die.
Well, you need to tell me. You need to tell me if you're trying to make him submit or if you're just dealing damage.
No. I am still attempting to make them either submit.
Okay.
Previously, I was trying to make them pass out. I am now attempting to make them submit.
I mean, it's the same thing visually for this, I suppose.
Yeah.
Let's say, well, that's a 5 with disadvantage. So Steggy, you need to oppose that. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Steggy, you see him go for your legs, and you're able to roll away and escape. You are now both standing and on opposite sides of the ring. And it is your turn, Stegs.
Really hate to do it because I think it's the lamest move in wrestling, but I'm going to go in for the spear.
You're gonna do a Roman Reigns spear. You're the head of the table. Hoo-ah! All right, this is a charge attack. You may make a attack roll at +1, but with disadvantage. Oh shit!
2 nat 20s.
What? Oh my dear Lord Almighty! All right. Wow. That's incredible. I don't know if there's like I don't know if there's any house rule for that. I mean, I have house rules for that, but I don't know if on disadvantage if you get a double crit if that means anything. I feel it should, but technically it doesn't. That's incredible.
Whatever you want to apply.
All right.
A double nat 20 is my god.
All right. Because it's disadvantage, I'm going to roll that it's just a crit for double damage. But you get +1 for the charge. Steggy, what does that bring your damage to?
Since there is no dice rolled, technically,
Yep.
it is 8. No, still 4 damage because there's no double dice.
I am doubling it though.
Plus, okay, so
So you're gonna do double net damage. We're gonna do it like that style.
okay, so it is 4 + 2 for raging, +1 for the charge, 14 damage.
That puts me almost triple below my hit point maximum.
Yep, that's fine. All right. And so, on your feet, Steggy, you run and hit the ropes. You run past the dwarf. The dwarf goes, tries to turn this way, but you've already hit the ropes, and you're running back this way. What? He turns back again, but you've already hit the ropes, and you're on your way back. And just like the force of Roman Reigns against The Undertaker at WrestleMania, you connect. And we see, with anime flashing cutscenes, a close-up on your eyes.
as you lunge through him with the spear. It might as well have been Spanish Fly. The dwarf is turned inside out as you tackle him to the floor with crushing impact. All right. You go for the pin?
Yes.
He goes for the pin. What's your current hit points, Bargy?
That was 14 damage, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
Oh my gosh. Negative 22.
All right. You have a DC 32 kick-out check. Or con check. It's looking bad. Make your first roll. Oh my god! Wow, that was close. All right. Your legs are kicking somehow. You're not letting Steggy go over strong. You're like Hollywood Hogan kicking on your shoulders after taking a finisher. 1! The referee counts. A second saving throw. Wow, close again. 2! And the referee raises his hand for the third count. Can Bargy kick out? Can he do it? Oh my god, so close again. And at the last moment, nearly kicking out. The count of 3. Ding, 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 ding. This one is over.